Lahar and Ashnan. Many years ago, when the great Enlil built the sacred city of Nippur upon the earth and populated it with the Anunnaki gods, human life was poor and primitive. At that time, humanity did not know bread and did not grow grain. People did not keep domesticated animals. They did not know how to weave cloth or make clothing. They wandered the land naked, like wild creatures. They grazed on grass like sheep and quenched their thirst with water from ditches. In those days, the great gods decided to change this order. The supreme god An gathered the gods upon the sacred mountain where heaven and earth meet. There, two divine forces were created, destined to bring abundance into the world. Ashnan, goddess of grain and agriculture. Lahar, goddess of sheep and herding. At first, they were intended to provide food for the Anunnaki gods themselves, for the gods eat bread and drink milk. However, the gods soon realized that their gifts could also transform the lives of humans. Then, the wise Enki suggested that Enlil send Ashnan and Lahar down to the earth. Enlil agreed. By his command, the goddesses descended to humanity and taught them to grow grain, to bake bread, to raise sheep and goats, to obtain milk and wool. And then abundance appeared in the land. The gods rejoiced as they watched the earth fill with life and prosperity. But one day, after a feast and wine, a dispute arose between the goddesses. Ashnan claimed that agriculture is the most important because bread feeds the world. Lahar replied that without sheep, humans would have no milk, meat, or clothing. The argument grew more and more heated. Then the wise Enki delivered his judgment. He said that agriculture and herding must exist together because one supports the other. But he still gave precedence to Ashnan, for bread sustains the human body and wine gladdens the heart. Therefore Ashnan, who nourishes both gods and humans, must take first place, and Lahar must acknowledge her seniority.
Commentary. The text was discovered by archaeologists in the ancient city of Nippur during excavations at the end of the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century, by archaeologists from the University of Pennsylvania. The surviving tablets date approximately to the period around 2000 to 1800 BCE. This is the Old Babylonian period, when Sumerian texts were actively recopied in scribal schools. However, the myths themselves are much older and likely originated as early as the 3rd millennium BCE. The text was deciphered and published in the 20th century by Assyriologists, who were engaged in the systematic translation of Sumerian literary texts. The myth of Lahar and Ashnan is one of the ancient Sumerian texts explaining the origin of agriculture and herding. It belongs to the corpus of myths associated with the gods Enlil, Enki, and An, and reflects the worldview of early Mesopotamian civilization regarding humanity's transition from a primitive state to an organized economy.